Hi everyone, this is Nadia. I'm an occult specialist that uses spiritual intelligence to empower entrepreneurs into a health empowered money story to live a balanced life. Today's topic is something that I have, I guess I would say personally discussed with some friends. And this is not like once or twice or something. This has been like a repeated ongoing conversation that I've had with people. And it's actually a video that I've avoided doing because when you really speak the truth on this topic, you sound very arrogant. You sound like you think you're better than other people. You sound very conceited. You sound very self-centered. But so many people have actually quietly asked me this that I feel like it's very important to do it publicly. It is inspired by one of my friends, shout out David. So he has always spoken about what it is to be top shelf. So I want to name this video, Why is Success So Lonely and How to Work Around It? Okay. The fact of the matter is that most people do not want to be successful. Most people do not have ambition, and most people do not want to grow. They are comfortable where they are. So I've had this conversation with at least two of my friends. Both of them live outside the UK. And I've always asked them that, why do you guys feel that it's so difficult to make real friends? Or why is it so difficult to meet real people? Well, the fact of the matter is that most people don't want to grow, just like I've said. They don't want to grow, they have excuses. They have excuses of why they can't hang out with you, and I'm really going to get into this topic today. They've got all the excuses. Oh, I'm busy. Oh, I'm busy. Look, we're all busy. I love when people say I'm busy. It's like, yeah, busy doing nothing. Or, I'm also busy too, but, we like to make time. But the major reason I find, and there's so many issues with this, is simply to do with the fact that people don't wish to grow. Now, when you're ambitious and when you choose to pursue a path of success, you have put yourself in the firing line of being mocked, shunned, humiliated, and ridiculed. I should know this because I've gone through this as a child. I was always like forward thinking. I've got to a certain level, not enough. I want to move more, I want to move more, I want to move more. That's very tedious and cumbersome to most people. Most people are just comfortable where they're at. I used to know a girl whose boyfriend said to me, why do you want to travel so much? Like, why don't you just stay local? I said, because my mind isn't local, that's why. And I couldn't explain it to him. You can't explain $1 million ethic to people who are comfortable at minimum wage. No shade, I've worked minimum wage. I have no shame on that. For the time that I needed to, basically. I didn't stay there. So I want to cover why success is so lonely. Success is lonely simply because people feel threatened by successful people. Now, I don't know what everybody's prototype, or I guess what their cardboard cutout of success actually looks like in their head, basically, right? So most people think you look a certain way, you dress a certain way, you act a certain way. Oh, you look successful. Looking successful simply means you look put together. That's what really, I would say looking successful means. You look put together, you look nice, you make an effort with your appearance, blah, blah. You look like you have money, basically. That's what people are trying to say. It's lonely because people see you as a threat. Now, when I was younger, I didn't realize I was top shelf. In fact, I shied away from thinking that I was beautiful, I was special, I was anything. Because if I truly claimed my power, if I truly claimed my face, which is beautiful, if I truly claimed that I was great, I was smart, I was intelligent, I was ambitious, I could speak different languages, I had social charms, I had graces, I could fit into any echelon of society, people would hate me. If I truly, absolutely claim that, which I do, and I openly claim that now, people don't like you. They will find any tiny thing to hate you because they think, what is up with this woman? How does she get to have everything and I don't? And the point is that yes, some people are just going nowhere. Yeah, and you have to be honest with yourself when you're successful and ask yourself, can I grow with this person? Growth is not just to do with money. A lot of people just want to get the short end of the stick and they want to just talk about, oh, money this, money that. No. Do you want to grow as a person? Do you want to grow physically? Do you want to grow emotionally? Do you want to grow spiritually, mentally, psychologically, sexually, all those areas? verbally? Do you want to increase your linguistic expand? Do you want to expand your vocabulary? Do you want to learn new languages? The answer is usually no. Okay. I remember this happened. I was about 20 and I was at university at the time. Maybe not 20, wait. About 19, about 18, 19, definitely not 20. About 18, 19. And there was this girl that, I don't know if I could say befriended her, but I used to hang out with her. And she was seeing a guy. I'm trying to remember the story so I can tell you guys how top shelf shit really works. She was seeing a guy, and I didn't know that she was seeing this guy. She must have been seeing him for at least 6-7 months, easily. So there was a girl that used to know us, and all of us, it wasn't, I didn't hang out in a group, but I knew the girl. So they were like, oh man, have you met her boyfriend? What? She has a boyfriend? Oh. I did not know she had a boyfriend. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. They were like, really? You, no one told you she has a boyfriend? Like, the girl was really incredulous. I'm gonna just grab a drink. The girl was so incredulous, like, she just couldn't believe it. I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't know that. She said, that's weird. Why hasn't she told you she had a boyfriend? I knew what it was, but I kept my mouth shut. Anyway, she said, I'm gonna bring this guy up when we go see her next. And I said, that's gonna make her feel uncomfortable, but all right. So she was like, hey, man. She's like, oh, have you told Nadia about Leon? And I could see she was drinking a cup of coffee and she looked like she wanted to spit that coffee on that girl, like, why the fuck have you brought this up? And I said, who's Leon? I pretended like I didn't know anything. And she was like, oh, you know, Leon, she's been seeing him. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, that's nice. I was just like, you got a new boyfriend, got a new man, you got a picture of him? She didn't want to show me. I said, all right. I was like, so it was very awkward and that girl had to go. She's like, oh man, I gotta go see my mom or something. All right, so this girl had a sour ass face like she had sucked up a lemon upside down. I looked at her and I said, let's just address the pink elephant in the room, because a lot of people don't like confrontation because they don't want to be guilt tripped or shamed or blah blah. I didn't care. And she said, I don't want you to meet him. It's okay, why? What am I gonna do with him? And she was trying not to say it. And I said, you feel threatened, don't you? And she said, you know, every time you've met somebody's boyfriend, he ends up fancying you. Every time you meet someone's husband, he ends up fancying you. And I'm like, and that's my problem, because why? I don't tell them to fancy me. I couldn't care less. I don't do taken married men, whatever you want to call it. You got a girlfriend or a wife, I'm good. But please just stay in your lane. And I said, all right, show me his picture. And I said, you know, not to be disrespectful, but I'm not into dudes who look like they don't shower every day and they ain't got their act together. And obviously that was the end of the friendship. But and this kind of reminds me of another situation where I thought I was friends with a girl, but she hated my guts. Now, it was one of the worst nights of my life. This girl got so drunk. She was just batshit crazy. When I say batshit crazy, she had cut herself. She had a whole history of sexual assault trauma, and that does make you crazy. But she thinks she was bipolar or schizo. There was something off. This girl had a little too much to drink. So you know whatever. When people start drinking, the truth comes out. So she sat there with a sour ass face with two girls, and she said, "Oh, you think you're all that?" What? I was just like, and somebody was getting me a drink, and I said, what? I just looked at her like, what the fuck? And she said, you think you're hot shit because you model, right? No, I was just like, I just model, what's the deal? And the insecurities poured out. It was an ugly night. The girl ended up in hospital. She had to have her stomach pumped. Listen, I have seen some wild shit when I was younger. And over time, I realized one thing. There were a lot of people that could come into my life and, I'd have drinks with them, dinner with them, coffee with them. And then once or twice, never either heard from the person again. They disappeared. I'm thinking, bro, what's happened? And what really, really happens is Low vibrational people like to keep an image. They know how to fuck with the Joneses. They like keeping up images because everything for people is a competition. I remember there was this girl that used to follow me, or follow the Spartanite account on Twitter. And she'd post stupid updates like, oh, I did this, what did you do? Like, no one cares, man. No one cares what you did. You're just irrelevant, but why are you still talking? And it kind of reminds me of like these little dogs that go to the front of the house and they bark as if their bark means anything. There are a lot of petty people in this world. They are very petty. I used to live somewhere where the neighbor had the fence broken down and he lost his shit with the guy who lived downstairs below me. Oh my god. He was like, oh, you did this work and it went into my fence. I'm like, you're a dad of 3 kids, man, dude. Who cares? Just fix the fence when you can. But there are some really crazy people in this world, and lots of people are petty because they're childish. They're children. They are children stuck in adult bodies having childish conversations. Okay, when you're top shelf, when you're world class, when you know that your presence, it has magnitude, it brings something to the table, stop trying to squeeze yourself and fit yourself with people who are not top shelf. This is and it's not an arrogant statement, it's not an incredulous statement, it's a realistic statement. My life became so much easier when I stopped trying to force myself at tables where I full well knew people hated my guts. They saw me as competition, business events, places, men who wanted to date me. That was the worst part. Like, does he want to sleep with me? Does he want to take me out? Or does he want to crush me as competition? I don't know. It really became insane for me. And I saw so many things, and I know that there are people who are truly successful, and truly successful people like to hide a lot, because when you full-blown put that blast of spotlight on us, oh Lord, it sends the roaches running. That's it. People of today are very insecure. They're triggered by anything. If they see that you look good, if they see that you smell good, if they see you have money, if they see you're doing well, you got opportunities, you can handle adversity. A lot of people of today cannot handle adversity. They don't know how to respond to shit going left in their life. Shit has always gone left in my life. I'm just used to it. And even when stuff has gone left, nobody has been able to tell. And why? Because I don't freak out. I don't get onto Instagram live and start crying and telling people I haven't eaten for 3 days. And I don't freak out. Like, if I need to freak out, I'd probably take some time away and I just need to calmly sit and think about stuff. People don't like that. People don't like calm, relaxed energy because they're petty, they're dramatic, and they're childish. When you're petty, dramatic, and childish, you can never be top shelf. Top shelf reminds me of, those bars in the city. You guys know what I'm talking about. You go in there and there's like top shelf liquor, £1,000 for a shot. I don't know, I don't go drink, so I'm just giving an example, but I know there's really pretty bars. Like, I've gone to restaurants, I'm like, that looks like a nice bar. I'd probably clean up that bar if I consumed liquor or I chose to clean. I was like, man, that looks pretty good. And I like how the bottles are arranged, they look pretty, but alcohol ain't my jam, so I'll leave it there. And then them tiny little shots, like, that little shot in Monaco might be like, I don't know, 20, 30,000. You have to be top shelf. If you want to be successful, you got to be top shelf. When you're top shelf, people hate you. There are so many social events I didn't get invited to, and so I couldn't attend, obviously, because I wasn't invited. People who knew me, weddings, engagements, birthday parties. I knew people who went, and people were angry, like, why didn't you come? Because I don't go to places where I'm not invited. I don't care if I'm related to the person. I don't care if I know the person for 15, 20 years. It doesn't make a difference. If I don't get a formal wedding invitation, you will never see me there because I've not been invited. It's not cordially inviting me to a place. People don't like you to show up because when you show up, you show them up. Yeah, you guys see where I'm going with this, right? They don't like the fact that you look good. They don't like the fact that even if you're wearing a simple dress, you look better than them. They might have spent like 10 grand on an outfit and you show up with something that's a couple of hundred and you still look better than them. Or maybe not even a couple of hundred, maybe like a dress that's like, I don't know, 60, 70 pounds. There's places I've been to, there's weddings I've been to, they're just, nice dresses. And even the brides have given me funny looks. I'm like, man, I don't want to upstage the bride. It's not my special day. But I just present myself and look decent. There was a wedding I went to, and lots of people are surprised. Oh, you have a social life, because I don't like sharing every part of my life online. It's bad manners and low class and cheap to do that. And I still remember through the grapevine, I heard this girl was so mad when she got married because, her husband wanted to talk to me. And I said, I don't know, your husband seems like a cool guy. I congratulated him on his wedding. Well, I didn't even speak to him for that long. And apparently she said that her husband couldn't stop mentioning me. And I said, I don't know why. But anyway, top shelf. When you're top shelf, even your clients will hate you. I've experienced that sadly too. There have been people that I've helped, and it's very sad, and it pains me to say that I love helping people, and I love seeing them get to a certain place in life. And I could even sense envy from the clients. Bitch, how come she has everything? How come whatever we ask her, she can always do it? Men. I struggled with men, top shelf. They would try and abuse me, humiliate me, put me down, put me through shit, just because they couldn't match up to my level. And those men know themselves. I don't even have to sit there and name names or humiliate and embarrass them, the poor guys. I don't have to do that. And that's not my style. I would go on maybe like a date or two, and these dudes would be like, hey, it's nothing special, I'm not trying to flex. What do you do? Yeah, I write books. I mean, I'm not gonna say much. Yeah, I do write books, but maybe I was like, all right, maybe I'm being too extra. You're not extra. There are so many people who have come across me and they have felt less than me, and that's not my problem. When you are top shelf, it's not your problem to cater to people and make sure they're okay and squash yourself down and make yourself small. I hope that's making sense, basically. Because that's what I used to do. I used to think, oh man, maybe if I, it's not just, and I tell this a lot of top shelf women, top shelf men as well. I'm going to put this. Sometimes it's not the person that's holding you back. You hold yourself back for that person. I learned this a long, long time ago that most people, if they see you growing in a relationship, oh Lord, that's not a relationship, that's a competition. There was a guy, sadly enough, I don't want to say, I don't know if I can say dated, but he was angry that I was young, I was successful, and I was a mess at the time I was with him. I don't know if I could say that I was even successful. I was a mess. A little older to me, a couple of years older to me, maybe about 4 or 5 years older to me. But he hated me, and he still hates me. He hates me even more. That's the thing. Because when he met me, I was such a mess, and thank God, God is good that I don't look like what I've gone through. And it's incredulous for people to think, how can this person come out from what they have actually been through in life? How? Because when you're top shelf, your lifeline is not connected to money in this world. Your lifeline is connected to God. I always say that. Your lifeline is always connected to what is up there. And I always have the divine in my heart. And for me, I always say, if God is for me, who can be against me? People don't like top shelf. If you are successful, people will hate you. People won't want to invite you out, and you'll be forced to do a lot of things by yourself. I do have people I hang out with, and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to say that I have real friends, and to be a Spartanite and to find real friends is a very difficult thing. Because you will always have this, if this person is not envious of this, they're envious of this. If they're not envious of this, they're envious of this. Because when you're mediocre, you'll have people around you all the time. You'll be invited because you're not a threat. You're not a threat to that person, so you're invited out, because who cares? Nobody looks at you, or in their mind, they've pegged you down like, oh, she's weak, she's shallow, or he doesn't earn enough to have a say at the table. When you see people envious of you and you are top shelf, they haven't mysteriously just become envious of you. You have achieved a certain level of success. You have done things where the seed of envy was always there. For instance, okay? This is a mix of, I think, carrot, apple, ginger, whatever it is, okay? I can look at this and sort of have an estimation of what this is, and then I can drink it and taste it, and that's what it is. That seed of envy was always there. When I saw people with envious eyes, and people don't have to look at me, the way they speak to me online, the way I was like, now what can I do with this person, man? They're hating me, and you always have haters, and that's just common, because it's always, how come life works out for her? How come life works out for him? How come it isn't for me? It doesn't, because of that vibration. Because you're sour, you're bitter, you're mean, you're resentful and jealous. For me, when I see someone that has something that I don't, sometimes, and I've really wanted it, sometimes I feel sad inside. And I'm human, and I struggle just like everybody else. I feel sad, like, wow, when will it be my time? Or and then, but I've never felt jealous, like, oh, why are they happy together? Or why does he have more than me? I've never felt resentful that way. I just say, God has always ordained the right time for all of us in anything, any goal that we want. And people feel jealous because jealousy, scarcity, and competition come from one word, and that's my favorite word to leave behind: lack. When you're coming from lack, you always feel like you want to be the best. I'll kind of wrap up this video with a very quick thing that I remembered. I was trying to log into Instagram to see something, and I saw, in like the search button in Instagram, and there was this woman, and she was saying, oh, I'm 30 something, and please tell me that I look, and I'm on TikTok. Okay, and if you do TikTok marketing, please don't email me for Spartanite, because you will not find me there, okay? Because, I get a lot of, just on a side note, I want to say that I get a lot of weird emails like, hi, we can promote you on TikTok. Oh, yeah, Spartanite and TikTok don't go hand in hand, I just don't do it. So back to what I was saying before I detour again. And she was just like, oh, I'm 30 something and I'm on TikTok. Tell me I look better than all these other bitches who are younger than me. Why are you so insecure? I just feel sorry for a lot of women. A lot of women are very, very insecure because they want the one thing that they're desperately chasing one thing, and you want to know what that is? It's masculine validation. They want to feel like they're the best looking woman in the room. All men fancy them, and everybody's husband or boyfriend fancies them. Like, it's not something great. It's not an achievement or anything. Like, fine, if they do, cool, whatever. But when you're insecure, you are always so focused. There are two types of women who can be focused on their appearance. Number one, you take pride in your appearance the way I do. I take pride, but I'm not doing it because I want to shit on other people in a room. I don't care. If people look better than me, I don't care. I'll take inspiration from that. But for the most part, most women fall into category number two. I've gone and sat in places, I'm waiting at the airport, I'm waiting for an appointment, and I always get like really like horribly bitchy, envious looks. I come from that industry. I used to model, so I know that. And even till today, I've got that. And people don't look at you like that unless they see you're a threat. So when you're at top shelf, you are always a threat to people. They will gaslight you. They will try and make you question their worth. And they know very well, down to the nickel and dime, of your worth. They are just hoping that your self-esteem has some sort of chinks in the armor, so they can get in, say some fucked up shit to you, make it stick in your head, and that's it. There was a guy, sadly, and I went through a lot of abuse with him when I was younger. And I come from an interesting background. And one of the things that really stuck with me that he said, and it stuck with me till today, there was a very beautiful picture of me when I modeled. And he was so threatened because all narcissistic men are feminine. Narcissistic men are not men. They are feminine, and they want to steal your beauty, your youth, your glamour, your shine. They want to eat it up so that they can go and impress other men with it, okay? This is what it is. And he said to me, oh, you can't call yourself beautiful. That's the job of me and other people. He was trying to make me feel ashamed because he already could see my shine. So no way, I'm gonna squash all this down. So if you are beautiful, you are beautiful. If you are intelligent, you are intelligent. If you have social graces and manners, you have that. Claiming your power will make people feel very uncomfortable because they will class you as arrogant. Who does she think she is? Who does he think he is? He thinks he's better than other people. It's not about thinking you're better than other people. It's about claiming your unique genius. And a lot of people don't like doing that because you get all the sheep of society. I've always heard it all the time. Oh, you think you're special? Yes. Oh, you think? Yes. There was a guy that once said to me, you won't get married till you're this age. Yeah, so, and I'm not marrying you. And they don't like the fact that you have a quick mouth to say things. Oh, who's gonna marry you? Definitely not you. I don't go for low grade shit. People want you to accept their bullshit and their nonsense all the time so that then they can get into your life, as I've said, and abuse you and hurt you because they want to steal your shine. So please, if you are top shelf and you know you're top shelf, you know if you're special in your top shelf, you don't have to convince yourself if you're special in your top shelf, because guess what? You don't have to tell you, everybody else is telling you. If you are in a room and you know you look like hot stuff, you know you look good, you know that you bring a lot to the table, in fact, hell, you might even be the table, people are going to be quiet. They'll constantly watch you. I've had people tell me, oh, I read your stuff for like 10 years. And you didn't come by anything, man, really? What they're really watching for is two things. Number one, when does she fail? When does Spartanite crash to the ground? I hate her. I can't wait for her to lose this shit. Number two, oh, I wonder what her secrets to success are. Let me try and dig up and let me try and read her stuff and just obviously hate her in the process. This is reality. People don't like talking about it because, oh, well, I'm gonna sound arrogant. I really couldn't give a rat's ass about how I sound. This is just the reality. If you are top shelf, stop hanging around low vibrational people who can fool you for a couple of dates, who can fool you for a couple of times they go out, because behind that, you know, it's a mess. Their whole life is a mess. They know it's a mess, and they know they can't keep up the facade. It's gonna be a matter of time before it's like, that's it. You're gonna see them for what they are. All right. So top shelf, you hang out with top shelf. Just don't give people space to make you feel like, oh, you think you're better than me, and then they want to weasel their way into your life and just be on fuck shit and be an energy vampire and steal your shine, steal your light, steal your money, steal your happiness, steal your joy, steal your sanity. Just don't do it. All right? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will be happy, myself or April will be happy to comment in the chat box below. Thank you. Take care. Bye.